here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making a baby blanket. Yes, so Margot and Amelia, whom I've made baby blankets for in the past, have now got a cousin, and she's called Lily. So Lily had to have a baby blanket as well. And for this baby blanket, I chose to make a play blanket size in a variegated yarn. It is a gorgeous colorway, and I have chosen to do some filet crochet with a diamond pattern, and oh my goodness, look at how lovely this looks. The blanket is 102 by 107 centimeters, or in inches that is 40 by 42 inches. So it is reasonably easy to create these diamonds once you have the system in your head. And to get you started, of course, I am going to show you how to do each row. You will then be repeating these rows throughout the blanket, and of course we are doing a lovely border as well. So for this blanket I used James C. Brett Emotions. It's a double knitting yarn and it's a ball of 150 grams. So I used 3 balls for this blanket, and because of course it's variegated, you don't need to change color, so that makes it nice and easy to do. And of course, because it is 150 grams, you get more yardage or more meters in your ball. So this is 435 meters or 474 yards, and it's 100% acrylic, so it washes really well and it dries easily. So it is prescribed for a 4mm hook, and I am indeed using a 4mm hook. This will for me provide a little bit of a looser fabric, so if you usually use a 4, go up half a hook size. Okay, this will provide you with a little bit of a looser, a more drapier fabric, which will be lovely for the baby to cuddle with. Now we have these emotions in the whole color range, so do go and have a look on our website and see which colors you would like. But the color I used for the blanket, and I've nearly used it up, I just thought this was such a lovely colorway. It is called Serenity. Okay, so do go and have a look at the different colorways that there are. They all have names according to emotions, and yes, a lovely range. So it is a very soft yarn, it's easy to work with, and I find, yes, it is double knitting, but it is double knitting. Okay, it's not thin at all, it is proper double knitting thickness, which is also the reason why I am actually using a 4, just to, you know, take that into account, that it is a proper good thick double knitting yarn. Okay, so let's get going on making the blanket. For the video purposes, I'm going to make you a sampler which will show you the repeat, of course, of the Filet Crochet diamond pattern, and you will also have a chart in the written pattern for you to refer to should you need it. So first of all, for row 1 we are going to get started with a slip knot. You insert your hook, and for the blanket I did 149 chains. Okay, for my sampler here I'm going to do 29 chains. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now if you're making a sampler, you will be chaining 29 chains, and I suggest you make it in just any color from your stash. If you are making the blanket, if you're starting the blanket, you will be chaining 149 chains. Now the multiple for the blanket and for the stitch is 8 plus 7, but that does not include the border I want to do around the blanket. So we are already making a preparation for the adherence of our border, and in doing so we are adding some stitches to our actual blanket, but I don't count those as being part of the stitch repeat for the filet crochet work. Okay, so you have to add another 6 stitches. So this might sound very complicated, but the strict multiple for the stitch repeat is 8 plus 7, and then you have to add on the 6 stitches for the border. So I now have my 29 chains. You should have your 149. Now we're going to do a chain 1. Now this chain 1 is your turning chain and it does not count. So you chain 1, you turn. It will become more obvious what you do with that turning as we've got more on our hook. Okay, so we're going to skip the chain 1 into your last chain of your 149. You're going to place a double crochet. So you yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so this is the first stitch of your row. Now we're going to do a boxes row. So we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and we're going to do a double crochet in the next one. Voila. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next one. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next one. So I have just made it to the end of the row, skip 1, and this is the one that I'm going to be using for my last double crochet. Voila. So now in row 2 you should have 74 boxes and I have 14. So now row 3 we're going to chain 1 and we turn our work. Then to start with we're going to do the double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 and another double crochet for our border box. So each row is going to start and end with a box. These are 3 stitches and at the end there will be 3 stitches. Those make up the 6 stitches that we added to our crochet, to our chain to use for the border. Okay, so that's a given, and also those bits here have been indicated in bold in the pattern, so that should be easier for you to recognize that those are the boxes for the border. So now we're going to get started with our stitch repeat, and so the first instruction is to place 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So if it's a chain space you go around it, if it's a stitch you work in it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 7. And then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, this one here, and we start again by placing 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Then chain 1, skip 1, and we do another 7 double crochets in a row. So of course this is the repeat that you will be repeating throughout your row, and at the end of the row you should be ending in your 7th double crochet. Okay, we will then stop the repeat for the body of the blanket, and these last 3 stitches are for our border. So we're going to place a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1 and a double crochet in the last stitch. So you omit here, of course, that little box, because these here work out that if you do just the 7, it ends your row. Now in this first row, make sure you count very carefully, so you each time have your 7 double crochets and then a box, okay? But of course you don't end in a box and you don't start in a box, but we do end and start in a box, but those are for the border, okay? Now it's very important that you do that first row really carefully and that you count really well, because from now on, yes, you will have to count and there is a system for counting, but you will also see what you need to do after a little while. Okay, so if you know you've done the previous row correctly, so in this case our first row, then you will know that the rest will follow along correctly as well. So now on to row 4. Okay, so first of all, of course, we start with chain 1, turn, double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, and you skip 1 and you do a double crochet in the next stitch. Like I said, you start and end each row with this box, okay? Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, this one here, and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then it continues, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet around the chain space. So this, let me show you, this is our little repeat. So here we started with chain 1, skip 1, and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So that's how we're going to get started now as well. So chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, and then we'll make that little box as well, because you will see you will be able to do that same construction here, because of course you've got your box here. So you know you've got the box, you know you have to put a double crochet in there, and you know that you have to make a little box before that. So now we have to make a little box after that, and then we will be doing 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then here we will do our chain 1, skip 1, and then of course we have no more stitches for our filet repeat, but we have to do our box for the border. So that's what we're going to do. Voila. So of course you will be doing this a lot more, making the 2 boxes next to each other in your little repeat. But of course I've done this 3 times, and now we can go on to row 5. So for row 5, we get started as we always do. Chain 1, turn, 1 double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, skip 1, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Voila. So row 5, we're going to get started with 1 double crochet around the chain space. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Voila. Okay, so this is our start, but now our repeat is chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Chain 1, skip one double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And this is what you will repeat throughout your row. And at the end you will place 1 double crochet around the chain space, but then we stop doing our little repeat, but we are going to do the box for the border. Voila, there we go. And you will notice that these become less double crochets together. So 7, 5, 3. So I'm predicting that this one will be a 1 double crochet in the next row. But here you see that we have 1, then we have 3. So next row we're going to be doing 5 double crochets here. So now for row 6 we're going to, of course, start the same way as we always do. And to start our filet repeat, we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So first of all 1 on top of that double crochet and then 1 around the chain space. Then we chain 1, skip 1, and we do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, and 1 double crochet around the next chain space. Well, actually we do 1 double crochet in the next 5 locations. So that's 3, 4 and 5. Then we chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, and we do 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, and then here at the end of the row we should be doing the 5 double crochets, but of course we haven't got space for that, so we only have space for 2, because then we do the box of the border. And of course you will be doing a longer repeat, but it will work out the same way. And can you see that my boxes go in diagonal ways here? That this one here is reducing in amount of stitches, and that here we are increasing in amount of stitches. Now, once you get used to the pattern, you'll be able to predict what is going to happen, you see. Like here, it's reducing. So here we have 7, then 5, then 3, then 1, and then 0, you'll see in a moment. Here we have 0, 1, 3, 5, and we will have 7. Okay, let's see if that works out. So row 7, you chain 1, you turn, you do your double crochet, your chain 1, and you skip 1, and you do your double crochet in the next stitch. There we go. Now to get started, we're going to do a double crochet in the first 3 stitches. And once you've done your repeats enough, you'll be able to go and look at previous row 7s and see what you need to be doing. So it will be fairly straightforward. Then we are going to do a chain 1, skip 1, and then we do 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. Yes, so the 1, and now we have 0, so now we have a box up there. So let's get started now on the rest of these 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 7, and then you do chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. And this is a repeat that you will continue throughout the row. Then when you get to the end of the row, you will be ending in 3 double crochets, and also you have started in 3 double crochets. See, here you started in 2 double crochets, here you ended in 2 double crochets. So your start and your end are the same. Okay, so if you don't know how to end, just go back to your start, take off the books, and you will see you've got 3 double crochets there. So you know you have to do 3 double crochets here. And then of course we do the books. There we go. So can you see the pattern emerging? Can you see it? So row 8, chain 1, turn, 1 double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet on top of that double crochet there. Voila. Now our repeat is 1 double crochet in the first 2 stitches, 1 and 2, then chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet around the chain space, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So we have started a reduction on top of those 7 double crochets, and of course we are now placing boxes in front of this box like so, by putting a box there, and also we're going to be putting a box here and skipping 1 there, and then doing our 5 double crochets. 4 and that's 5. Voila. And then the same construction here, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet around the next chain space, chain 1, skip 1, and we end the row the same way as we started, with 2 double crochets, and then of course here we do the box. Voila, there we go. So let's go to row 9, and row 9 is one of those rows where we do the repeat of 3 double crochets. So we have the border box to do. Then we're going to get started with 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then we chain 1, skip 1, and we do 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Voila. Then chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 3. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet in the next 3 locations, because of course that 1 here needs to increase and this 5 here needs to decrease. And like I said, once you see how it works, once you see how the pattern works, you won't need to refer back to the pattern, you won't need to refer back to your sampler, you'll just know what to do. But please make sure you keep an eye on what you're doing and that it is right. So once you've done a couple of repeats in your row, each time check to see, are my diamonds shaping up to be the size that they should be? Okay. Now if you look at the chart in the pattern, the diamonds there look like squares because of course of the shape of the squares that I had to use in the chart. I couldn't use rectangles like the shape is of course of a double crochet. So I've done my 3 here, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch, and then of course here we are doing the border box. Voila. Row 10, we are going to chain 1, turn, do your box, and now we're going to chain 1, skip 1 and 1 double crochet in the first 5 stitches. So we are increasing our diamond here, going from 1, 3 and 5, and now we chain 1, skip 1 and place a double crochet on the next one, and here of course we are decreasing, so we only need 1 double crochet there, and we're already making another box. There we go. Okay, so here is the 3 where we increase, so we're doing 5 double crochet, so that's 3, 4 and 5. Then we make a box, chain 1, skip 1 and a double crochet on top of that double crochet, which is only 1 on its own because there's a 3 underneath and there's 5 underneath, so this is decreasing, chain 1, skip 1, and this one is the one where we are increasing, so we do our 5 double crochets. This might be complicated, but I promise you, once you have it, you have it. Okay, so I've done my 5, I've got 1 left here, so I'm going to do a box because we started with a box here as well. And then of course I'm going to do the box for the border. So I did a chain 1, skipped 1, and now we are doing the box for the border. Voila, there we go. Can you see the diamonds? So all we have to do now is finish off this diamond, and then we will have a whole diamond here and half a diamond there. So now for row 11, we're going to chain 1, turn, 1 double crochet in the first stitch for the box, of course, chain 1 and a double crochet, skip 1 and a double crochet, there we go. And now we're going to place 1 double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then we're going to chain 1, skip 1 and we place 1 double crochet in the next 7 locations because our repeat already repeats. There we go, so this is number 6. Then we do the 7th one, which is around the chain space, chain 1, we make a box on top of this double crochet here because we go from 7, 5, 3, 1 to 0, and now I have already here started my first double crochet of my 7 that I'm going to be doing in a row here, because these 7 are on top of a 5, and of course we are increasing here. And of course at the end of the row you're just going to finish in your double crochet. We won't make a box, but of course we are making the border box. There we go. Voila! So now you're going to do a repeat of row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 throughout the blanket. So I used 2.5 balls on the blanket itself, and then I just started doing the border. But of course When you finish your repeat and you want to stop your blanket, you're going to have to finish in a row 11. So make sure you finish the same way as you started, so with half a triangle here and so half a triangle here. So this is the row where you are doing the 7 and the box, 7 and the box. Okay, so you finish in a row 11. So then you're going to do a boxes row on top of your last row. So you're going to chain 1, turn, and you're going to do your double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch all along the row. And then of course you do your last box here, and that will finish the row. And if you notice now, you will see that you have a border almost of boxes going around your blanket. And of course inside your blanket you will have your diamonds, which I hope you can see, and obviously which will be quite obvious in your whole bigger blanket of course as well. So now let's get started on the border. So to keep things really simple, I'm just going to do 1, 2 chains, then we place 1/2 double crochet around the chain space, and this really is half of a corner, so we're just going to leave that alone for now. And now we're going to look at our boxes on the side, and as you can see, some of them have a thicker bit of fabric here than they have here, because of course that's for the chain 1 and the double crochet that we have there. So we're going to get started by placing 2 half double crochets around the box where you have that thicker part, and that will take it in. Then we place 1/2 double crochet around the next box, and then this box with that thicker bit of fabric we're going to place 2 half double crochets. So as I have told you before, for a border I like using half double crochets. This helps to prevent your border from becoming wavy. What I also like to do is not do too many stitches. So by placing 2 half double crochets in one box, then 1/2 double crochet in the next box, this makes sure that I am not actually placing too many stitches there, and this will reduce the waviness should there be any. So you're going to do this all along your side. Then when you get to your last box, you're going to place 2 half double crochets, 2 chains, you turn, and you place another 2 half double crochets in that same box but on the other side, and this has now made a little corner. And as you can see, I'm taking along this end as well here because it was there, and I thought, well, I might as well just incorporate that into my stitches. And now you're going to get started by doing your half double crochets in the boxes again. Start with 2, then do 1, then 2. Of course here you don't have the thick and the thin one anymore, but that doesn't matter. You can just do 1 half double crochet, 1, 2 in the next one, 1, 1, 2 in the next one. There we go. Okay, and the end has finished coming along, so I will give it a little bit of a tug here, and then I will cut that off in a moment. So there we go. So now we are back at a corner, and there you do the same thing, 2 half double crochets, 2 chains and 2 half double crochets. And I will see you when you have made it all the way around. When you've made it to your last corner, I've done my 2 half double crochets. All I need to do here now is 2 chains, and then I'm going to go skip the chain 2 that we did in the beginning, and I'm going to go under this V here to do a slip stitch. Voila, there we go, and that has made my corner. So now we're going to get started by doing 2 chains, so this counts as a half double crochet, and then you're going to place 1/2 double crochet in each stitch along your sides, and when you get to the corner you're going to place 2 half double crochets, 2 chains and 2 half double crochets. Now I have done a total of 4 half double crochet rounds, so that means the first round was 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then I did a round of double crochets. Chain up 2, this counts as a double crochet, and then you start doing your double crochets in each stitch, and in the corner you're going to do 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. So this simple border will really bring the blanket together and give it a lovely frame. So I hope you will enjoy making this blanket, making this baby play blanket. It is really easy because we have an automatic change of colors. The yarn is lovely, the color changes in the yarn are just so nice. And going for a very simple but understated pattern of diamond filet crochet, I just really enjoyed the look of this blanket, and I hope baby Lily will enjoy it too. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you will make this blanket, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!